Testing, testing, testing. Oh, it looks like it's working. Good morning, y'all. Shout out to those that are here and those that are on repeat. I see you. I appreciate you. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Are you back? Yeah, I'm back, y'all. Yeah, you already know. Back up in this piece to kind of talk a little bit more from last night. Shout out to y'all if you were here. Shout out to Jeff, Ask a Brother, and the panel. If you missed it, go back and watch the live stream from last night. It was very good. I had fun. He brought up all these clips. Shout out to the doctor, Maggie, Crimson. I'm sorry, I don't know that lady's name, but Alicia, Alice, something like that. So no shade. Shout out to them for taking the time, and Jeff, of course. Premise of this show is basically is feminism coming to an end. Jeff's so funny. Oh, Jeff, you're so funny. Oh, he's like, oh, I'm thinking it's coming to an end. With who, child? With who? Who? You think these biatches are going to change up and be normal? And for the some of the women who are thinking that, you know, it's changing, they're so cute. It may change, ain't gonna be no time soon. So just because I don't think that it's gonna, these women are really changing for the better. If they're allegedly changing, it's a scheme, in my opinion. It's a way to get something, because that's all these people want, is to have something. They want something. Most of the people from most of these Y's and Z's, lower end of the Y's and Z's, just want shit. So if they need to pretend something in order to get what they want, I honestly believe that that's what they're going to do. And part of the reason that I think that is because of the show that we just had yesterday morning. When you see all these Z's and lower end Y's and some of the later end Y's complain about what their parents allegedly did to them. Forget about the fact that they brought your punk asses into the world, child. That don't matter. Forget the fact that they hopefully at least gave you shelter. Forget all that. You're an adult. You know it all. You got it all. You got it going on. You're strong and independent. And then all of a sudden, now you want to blame your parents because your life sucks. Then you want to blame men because your life sucks. Then you want to blame the rich because your life sucks. That's a lot of non-accountability from many a place in order to think that they may be now coming around to be more traditional. These people only like tradition when it benefits them. They only like tradition for the parts that they want to pull out of tradition, and then they want to toss back in the feminism part. We watch too many videos of these heifers running off at the mouth. Well, you don't know, it's not all. Did I say all? I ain't say all. If you're offended, then you're probably included, but I did not say all. However, all of y'all that be running off at the mouth, I say y'all for sure, especially on the top and any social media. But you know, we be watching the top and Instagram and YouTube, of course. But it is what it is, right? Or let me rephrase. Tonight's conversation and Kendra Gilliam's show. Those two things, and probably Ashley, honestly, and any of them, any of these dating shows will tell you everything that you need to know. Pop the balloon. Do people go on those shows because they really want love? I don't think so. They want attention. They want to be seen. They want to go viral, right? So in order to get to that, you want to humiliate someone else or talk smack about someone else in order to get what you want at the end of the day, with no regard for their life, their feelings, what comes down on their end. It's all about you. That's selfish. People are selfish. These biatches are selfish. They only think about self. They barely think about their kids. Now that they tossing their parents into this mix, they're not changing. So it's because, in my opinion, is because the economy is so bad, quote unquote, so bad. But imagine if these people had a spouse. It would still be bad because it's bad for all of us. But imagine if you had a spouse. I'm pretty sure that will make it a little bit easier, as long as they're not a bum, right? Imagine if you had a whole nother set of income. Like y'all out here fighting over 50-50 and having these dumbass conversations about 50-50. You could have 100 of yours and 100 of his, and you could be moving along with your life instead of you paying all your stuff, him paying all his stuff. Because men already know what they got to do. It's y'all that don't know what you have to do. Remember the lady from over with CGA, and she don't like CGA, and she was like, don't do anything to be romantic with a man. Just get a man roommate. How much sense does that make? She said, don't get romantic. Don't have a romance with a man. Just get a man to live with you so that he can help pay the rent at the end of the day. That don't sound like changing to me. That sounds like a scam. I mean, she need the money that bad, but sis, if y'all got it going on, I'm a little confused why you need to have somebody else's money. You effing up somewhere. Something is not right. Something just ain't right. So instead of saying what you need to do, she'll go and find CGA and complain about what he is doing. As he is living his life, he ain't asking for nothing from nobody. He is not asking for the government for anything. He is not blaming his parents. He is not blaming his ex-wife. He's not blaming his children. He is not blaming the government. They don't see all that. Now, I know his backstory, a little bit of it anyway. They ain't thinking about none of that. They don't like backstories. You know, we like to go back to the beginning on all these stories because if you only go to the end, then it's like, well, something just don't seem right. If you have any common sense anyway. How many times these women, and listen, you know, I'm a firm believer in not taking anybody on up out of here. You figure it out. If you want to be taken on up out of here, take yourself out. I'm a firm supporter in taking yourself out if that's what you want to do. Other people might not understand it, but child, you do you and let everybody else decide what they want to do. Shout out to Jack Kevorkian. But when they are taking out their significant others, their girlfriends, their wives and stuff like that, not all the time, but enough of the time, if you go back, you see that these people was wild to begin with. So how do you get into the situation? If you like it, we love it. Shout out to hybristophilia. Enough of the time for this younger generation anyway, right? But y'all, let me go ahead and get into this because I do have to be off by 8 o'clock period. I just have to be off. I have work to do today. So that's why I started it a little bit early. Let me go over here because they mentioned this yesterday and then I go over to Instagram and I'm like, oh shit, look at this. It really is a real thing. Shout out to Lil Duval who put it up. Women are paying $13,000 to reset their body count back to 0. Child, these are people who come out here with orange hair, pink hair, nose rings, face rings, neck rings, chest rings, talking about you need to listen to them. I am woman, hear me roar. Who in the hell is listening to these people? Shout out to Snuggles in the building. Shout out to all of y'all. Please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. $13,000. I thought it was a bad economy. I thought the economy was no good. I thought it was tough times. I thought nobody was getting a raise. I thought capitalism was an issue. I thought all the rich people are the problem. I thought everybody wanted the free. Now all of a sudden they can pay $13,000 for some shit that ain't even true. These people just think that whatever they think is real. There's so many people amongst us that are living in an alternate reality. They're just insane asylums need to come back. Insane asylums need to make their way back here, okay? And where else in the world, let's be honest, where else in the world can you run around and say this dumb shit and then turn around and complain about capitalism? Even though I don't know who's doing this, I'll have to maybe look into it. What if it's a man at the top of it that's saying, you know what? If you pay me $13,000, you can be basically re-virginized, which we know is not a thing. But you fuck. That's it. But they're willing to pay for this. And what are they going to do? Get a certificate? Or do they get a certificate and then it goes on the wall? And then and then when one of you sassy straights come over, they can be like, look, see? It's all good. You can trust me. Let me tell y'all, that's a sign of foolish, crazy people. These people crazy, okay? These people are crazy. Duval said, y'all paying too much. Come to Camp Duval and we'll get you right for half the price. Listen, I'll tell you whatever you want. No, I want the full 13,000 though. Because if you're going to be this delusional, then I'm going to allow you to be as delusional as you want to pay for. Resetting your body count to 0. Look at this. Are they in Thailand? Where they at? They're in a rainforest somewhere. So you get some water dumped on you. You dress up. You in the rainforest. You wash your face and you hug. That puts you back to 0. White people, because she white, explain this. I need white people to come to the front of the congregation, shout out to Anton, and explain this. So you get hugged by a white woman while you're over there and, what is it, Phuket or something like that? Yeah, this look like where passport bros be going. Then you look up, wash your hair again, hug, your body count to 0. And I need to find out who this is so that I can see what you get for the 13,000. So that I can see if there is a certificate at the end. Because I'm telling you, they're going to be putting it up on the wall next to their worthless degrees. And then they're going to tell you, gentlemen, that. Oh, that's Duval. I was about to say, is this a part of it? No, this is back to Americanization. In the world. Oh yeah, this is definitely not a part of it. Shout out to Lil Duval though. That's taking me aback for a second. Woo! Girl, let's go. We got to figure something out. We not capitalizing because if these women are this damn foolish, there's a lot of money to be had. Now, isn't it interesting? This is Lil Duval. Let me take it back. Hold on. So this is interesting, right? Because you got 13,000 to re-virginize. You have 2,500 to see Chris Brown, but you can't pay the rent, and it's all men's fault. And you can't afford the eggs and the milk, but you can afford this. I need somebody to make it make sense. I'm telling you, insane asylums need to come back. This is wild. And then whatever you had to pay in order to get over here to Phuket or Thailand or wherever the hell they are in Asia, because this is looking pretty Asian, and then to stay there. So somebody got money around here that, like I always say, they want to spend money on what they want to spend money on. And then what the needs are, that's where you sassy straights come into play. Now that's why they blame their parents now, because there's got to be always somebody else to blame so that you are not responsible for your choices. You biatches is crazy. And the fact that there's a place that does this. See, wait a minute. Now, why I don't see any Black people here, right? I'm gonna have to look into this. Somebody remind me. If I find a Black person over here doing this, then you are kicked out because you're not following the code. Because child, y'all not supposed to be, you're supposed to be boycotting all things Asian. So this is a no for Blacks. All right. It's a no for y'all. All right. White people, I need y'all to explain this to me because I'm a little bit confused. Anyway. So I didn't realize this was a real thing. Let me ask ChatGPT what foolish stuff I can make up that women will fall for. Moving on. Because the way that women don't take accountability, I just came across this story here trying to get ready for the show this morning. Okay. So shout out to the neighborhood talk. Shaking my head. Parents demand stricter rideshare rules for minors after their 11-year-old son with autism was found in a TSA line after taking an Uber to the airport, told police he was trying to fly to Japan. Okay, let me read this again. Let me read this again. Parents demand stricter rideshare rules for minors after their 11-year-old son with autism was found in a TSA line after taking an Uber to the airport, told police he was trying to fly to Japan. So let's blame rideshares because you weren't watching your child. Do you remember a few years ago, some heifer was all pissed off because the rideshare driver wouldn't take the minor kid because the kid was a minor? Do y'all remember that? I forget where she wanted the kid to go. I think it was to school because she didn't have time because, of course, she had to get to her job because of her career. All right. But now it's a problem because the ride shares took the son. The ride share took the son. Now, I am concerned with the fact that he made it to the TSA line. I don't know how that works at the airport anymore. I thought that you got what is it called? An escort when you were a minor now, because there was a time, shout out to Generation X, there was a time that your parents or whatever could take you all the way to the gate. There was a time where anybody could be in the airport. They could take you all the way to the gate, hand you off to the stewardess, and then they could leave the airport. Today, you got to take your shoes off, take your clothes off, take your panties off before you can even get through the gate. And I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with that. Shout out to me. I just got clear. I don't know what it means, but I got it. All right. So let's blame the ride share company. Okay, it's not just me. Oh, back in the day, right? Yeah, it was a thing. You could even smoke on airplanes back in the day. But anyway, so you put the video out of your Ring camera showing your child getting into an Uber, and you thought to say that they're the problem? You think to say that they're the problem?
This video shows 11-year-old Jamel Johnson getting into an Uber at 5:55 a.m. without any parent supervision. His parents say they woke up in a panic when they realized their son, who has autism, wasn't at home.
It was a feeling I wouldn't want any other mother, father, parent, brother, sister, aunt, uncle to ever experience. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know where my son was.
When they checked their security camera, they saw the black car pull up and their son get in with a suitcase.
At that point, we're literally in frantic mode at that point.
When Jamel's dad called his missing phone, Port Authority police at JFK answered.
And they had found him because he was trying to get he was on the TSA line.
I wanted to go to Fukuoka, Japan.
The parents say their son has autism, and running away from home isn't uncommon with kids on the spectrum, but they're angry at how far an 11-year-old got without anybody stopping to question him.
He looks like a child. Why would you let him get in your car and pull off?
Uber itself needs to be more mindful of not just allowing anyone to get into their vehicles.
The Port Authority said in a statement to News 12 that the boy was found by staff around 6:30 a.m. at JFK's Terminal 1. Police took him to their post, had emergency services check him out, and found him to be fine.
It was not scary. I feel worse, nervous, but I'll be fine. I was thinking I'll be fine.
This could have been a different story. This could have ended totally different.
Uber has a strict no minors policy unless they're with an adult. It's unclear why Jamel was allowed to get into the Uber on his own. We reached out to the rideshare and are waiting for more information, but the Johnsons are in touch with their Trust and Safety Department in Valley Stream, Nassau County. Jenna Gartner, News 12.
All right, well, Uber is liable, is complicit, but it's not just them. It's not just them. Because y'all was fighting to have your kids be up in an Uber or a Lyft by themselves. So Junior, who's adorable, child. Let me keep my comments to myself. But Junior is adorable, okay? And he's very intelligent, clearly. He clearly is very intelligent. But for them to come up on this camera, blame Uber. You're right. Uber should not have allowed the kid to get into the car. But I'm going to need y'all to look in the mirror and blame your damn selves. I'm going to need y'all to look into the mirror and blame your damn selves. I'm not trying to hear because he has autism. If kids with autism, according to what they say, typically run away, why don't you have freaking, what is it called? An alarm. So that if the door opens, and you're aware. So you just absolve yourself real quick, don't you? You're just going to say that you don't bear no responsibility for this. It's your kid. It's your child. It's your minor child, very minor child, mind you. He was smart enough to say, child, I'm going at 5:15. F them. So this baby, yeah, I'm calling him a baby. This baby knew. I want to know what time the flight was because the baby knew to get up at 5. So whoever said a second ago he don't like his parents, he knew enough to get up at 5, call the Uber, knew to go to the airport. He said, I'm going to Japan. Like, why did he choose Japan? Shout out to this baby. He said I had enough. He said I had enough of the United States. I had enough of New York, and I have enough of these parents. I'm out of here. I want to know what the plan was once he got to Japan. Japan, as I call it. I want to know what the plan was when he got to Japan. I am. It's not funny. I'm glad he's safe. Let me make sure I say it. I'm glad that he's safe. Okay. Uber is on the hook if that's their rule, but it does not absolve these parents. They are on the hook as well. If your son tends to run away, or that's a sign of an autistic child or something, I don't know much about autism. All right. Then y'all need to put something in place, because if he can just make this stuff happen and y'all don't know, like, does he have a credit card? Excuse me, does he have an Uber account? And if he does, who gave it to him? Did he just make that come out of thin air as well? And he just got up here and spoke pretty well as far as I'm concerned. And he know what he doing. He know where he going. He know how it worked. So shout out to him for that. Unfortunately, it seems like the idiots are raising him. So maybe his autism is helping him at the end of the day. And shout out to TSA. I didn't hear them thank TSA in the airport for stopping him, checking him, and then calling him or whatever they did to ensure that he didn't get on the plane. Shout out to the airport. Anyway, shout out to him. I'm giving him all props, though. I'm giving him this baby all props. Shout out to him. He is very smart. He'll probably end up being like something where he makes $500 million. He said, autism don't stop nothing, child. No, autism don't stop nothing. Shout out to RB and good morning to you, boo. He says, there are 2 CNAs here that I just overheard saying that they're going to Houston to see Chris Brown, and they paid $2,000 for each ticket. I'm excited. Shout out to them. $2,000 for each ticket. These are women who only make about $16 an hour. I'm done. Priorities. I told y'all, these people want to do what they want to do. And then when the needs come in, because the rent will be due next month, then they'll be whining and crying. And then when I say child, people are going to be like, you're so mean. I'm not mean. I'm a realist. I don't do shit that is stupid just because I want to be a part of something that matters not in my life and put my livelihood at stake so that I could go make Chris Brown even richer. Because remember, these are the people that are complaining about capitalism. These are the people that complain about the rich, but they're consumers who continue to give to said rich. These are the people that complain about racism and how people need to stop doing this and stop doing that, and yet they're continuing to do it themselves. They still work for people who are racist. They're not going to give that up. So it's talking out of both sides of your mouth while chastising others who have the common sense to say, you know what, I'm just going to watch y'all on over there because y'all crazy. And then once you sit up here and you reap them benefits that are going to come, we'll just be over here watching y'all and judging and laughing, because that's what we do around here. That's wild, but I believe it. You need to ask them, child, did y'all get the meet and greet? Because Houston might be one of the places. There's only a certain amount of cities. There was only about 8 cities specifically that did the meet and greet with him. And for those that don't know, Chris Brown's meet and greet has increased from 1,000 to 2,500, and he is sold out in all 8 of those cities. He was sold out before this concert started, because I understand it started like 2 days ago. So shout out to Chris Brown and his capitalism, of which seemingly they can't see it. And this is the next thing that's going to happen before this hold on a second. Before this is done, meaning the concert. Hold on a second, y'all. Let me get one of you racists on up out of here. I forgot what I was going to say, but Chris Brown sold out before the concert even started. It just started a couple of days ago. What I need now is for Usher to come out and have his meet and greet so he can sell out, and he need to sell it for $3,000. And then once they're done, I want to know how much total amount of money that they made, only because I just want to just see how much these people who are claiming, mostly women, any men in here going to see Chris Brown and Usher Bueller? If your girlfriend is taking you, not if your wife is taking you, or you're going for that reason. Are there any men that are sitting up here saying, you know what? I want to go see Chris Brown. Let me know. Because I'm thinking it's mostly women. Because I've been to a Chris Brown concert because I've taken my kids. That was way back in the beginning. I smelled weed then. This is what happens when you go to a concert, which whatever. I don't have a problem with all that, right? Enjoy yourself. Leave me alone. So this is what people are going to be a part of, to hear all the screams. Of course, it's nice to go to a concert. I'm not saying that it's not, but I don't want to hear about the eggs is high and the milk is high while you're paying $2,500 for a meet and greet, $2,000 for it, $2,000 per ticket, mind you. That doesn't include the accommodations. It doesn't include the plane trips, based off of what RBN said a second ago, that these people have to go to, making $16 an hour, but then get up on this internet and politicians sitting up here talking about the minimum wage has to be increased to 50 for people who drop fries. Child, y'all play them games with somebody else. Shout out to Generation X. We don't have time for foolishness. Papa Naya in the building. Thank you, boo. He said a lot of child mental ailments can be cured with BELT and age-old medication. They will say, oh, that's abuse. You can't do that. How dare you say that? I'm telling you, you already know. These people don't want no rules. They don't want any rules. Like I said last night, they want to do what they want to do whenever they want to do because they got comfortable in the life that they thought was a real life during C19. They think that's real life. And of course, we know that it's not. But let them keep on because that's content for days, child. Moving on, child. Moving on. Shout out to that little boy, though. Shout out to him. I'm going to go back to the stream from last night and play some of these videos. And then I'm going to just react to it myself, obviously, without having to wait for somebody else. So, again, this is from last night's live stream on Ask a Brother podcast. Again, shout out to him and the panel. Thank you for having me on. For those that weren't there, let's hear it.
This is the ladies' table.
Because, yep, girl power.
We don't need no man.
Ooh, don't say that. Don't say that. We don't do that. We love our men.
What is this, Survivor? Because child Survivor tents and huts don't look this bad. What is going on?
Because, yep, girl power.
We don't need no man.
Ooh, don't say that. Don't say that. We don't do that. We love our men.
It's like enraged new wave feminist is like the new hot thing. Now, why is that happening? Well, it's happening because women are miserable. They're unhappy. And rather than looking inward and saying, why am I unhappy? They are blaming outward. So this is men's fault. This is injustice, patriarchy. This is all the words, right? Misogyny, you did me dirty. It's all that. Instead of saying, am I unhappy because I put a ton of pressure on myself to live this boss babe life? Am I unhappy because now I have to like pay my own bills and work like a dog and keep up with a man in a man's world, as you so claim? And, you know, do all of these things that I don't really want to do, right? And just completely reject my femininity because I need like a full-on testosterone burst in order to survive in this corporate warfare.
I know I'm not alone in this. I think I'm just the one willing to say it. But as a 35-year-old woman, I'm like pretty much over my strong, independent, boss-ass, badass bitch era. Like I would love for someone to just sweep me off my feet and say, quit your job. Here's my credit card. Here's the keys to a brand new car. I'm just taking care of everything. Like I need dependence on another human at this point in my life. Like, I'm really proud of myself. Like pat on the back. You did it. You did it for a long time, girl. But like, I'm tired.
Sex has dropped the barrel bottom price of one sometimes not well-worded text. You up? And so women are frustrated because they want men to give more and be more committed. But the price of sex has dropped so low. And they're enjoying sex. When I hear women say, but what about my needs? I'm always like, your sexual needs are very different from a guy's. And if you adopting a male model of anything is not female freedom. So I always tell women, let's say there's a bumper crop of tomatoes one year and the tomatoes dropped to 2 cents a head. I promise you, there is still a market for an organic, artisan-grown, heirloom tomato that's $2 a head. Which tomato are you?
Eddie Long is this? She went from a P-star to a pastor? From OnlyFans to Holy Bread? Is this another one of y'all's sexual liberation scams? That baptism water can't wash away those bodies, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. I'm all for people changing their lives for the good, but this is just insane. What kind of this church is this?
that I don't do, and that is hang out with women who complain about men, and especially low frequency men. If you are in a dynamic where you don't get treated right, we cannot hang with each other, because my focus has to go to up-leveling my life, my beauty, making money, traveling, expanding, evolving, and hanging around men that treat you like shit and then talking about that or complaining about that. That is very, very low frequency, and that is just not a thing that
I remember Amber Rose slut walk in LA. Well, this is what she had to say years later.
Do you think sometimes women actually try to get pregnant from men?
Yes. Yes.
That's a real thing?
Yes.
You've had girlfriends say, oh, I'm trying to.
I've had girlfriends lie about abortions to get money, to act like they're pregnant. Yes. It's disgusting. This is why I stopped my slut walk, by the way.
Yeah.
This is why I'm no longer a feminist, because I saw the dark side of what women can do. And I'm sitting here feeling slighted by men.
Right.
And then I'm fighting for equality.
Right.
And I'm like, the only equality is that you ain't either. You bitches are crazy. Y'all are really, you guys are extorting men, lying about pregnancies, saying you're on birth control when you're not, to trap them. I mean, not to sound vulgar, but if a man comes inside of you and you say that you're on birth control, he trusts you.
Right.
That you would trap him like that.
How a well-known hoe in the industry changed her mindset. She's no longer a feminist and she stopped the slut walk.
Well. Welcome, everyone.
Child, so Amber Rose stopped the slut walk, so then that makes everything better. F that heifer, okay? She's a hoe, she's a hoe. If you a hoe, you know you a hoe. Shout out to those that know that song. Anyway, so I'm to believe, I'm only going to talk about me. I'm to believe that now all of a sudden, because these people are out here saying these things, that they're changing, that they've changed. So forget all the damage that you have done, right? You get absolved. I didn't hear no apologies. Is anyone hearing anybody apologize for anything? Is anyone hearing anybody talking about what they did wrong? I mean, I guess a little bit of what Amber Rose said, but child, she got stuff written on her forehead. I'm not interested in hearing from people who have different colored hair, nose rings, looking like gargoyles, all these piercings, tattoos up there, asses, and all that type of stuff. I don't care what they change their mind to. There's nothing that these people could ever say to me that I would ever want to listen to, but that's just me, right? But what will happen is that they'll just be hated. We hate you. You suck. We don't like you. Oh my God, how could you? That's what's going to happen, is that they're going to get attacked, and she will get attacked, of course. First of all, she's tossed out of the community because she's a conservative. She tossed out because she's a conservative. Imagine that being the reason that somebody tosses you out. Nobody seems to care about, freedom of choice. Only freedom of choice when it comes to Roe v. Wade, but not freedom of choice when it comes to who the hell it is that you want to vote for. So until these people start course correcting those type of statements, I don't believe it for a second. Until they start talking about what they did in order, where they went wrong, and admitting it and saying what they're going to do to change it, I don't believe near none of it. It's just talk, one, for the internet, two, for whatever they're looking for from the internet, and three, because times are tough and they need some help. I just did a video a couple of days ago with we need help. We need somebody to pay our bills. We need somebody to pay our bills. Bills. Shout out to Destiny's Child. It's always something that these people want. They always want something. When do they give? When do they give? If you're still hanging out with liberals, progressives, and the crazy section, you can be a Democrat, right? But the crazy section of Democrats, liberals, progressives, Democrats, if you're still on the side of those crazies and you are sitting up here talking about, oh yeah, everything that Mom Domby and the girl in Portland, I think, is doing good, then you're still crazy and you ain't changed. You have not changed, because all that goes together. All this feminism and the liberals and the progressives, all of that stuff goes together. So until those things change on that bigger level politically, I'm not trying to hear it. Because if you're still out here saying that you want the government to take care of you and you want the free healthcare, I'm sorry, not free healthcare, free daycare, free food stamps, and a free grocery store, and a free, then you're not changing. You're just talking. You're just out here looking for some attention, and you need some help in enough of these situations. Because where are all the LTMs? I see there's one here in the chat. Let me help you out too. But where are all the LTMs? We're Funky Dineva to come out here and say something. They're going to continue to still blame y'all. They're going to wait out their time to get what they want and then turn around and say deuces once the economy changes, because it will change eventually. This is another way to know that these people don't know anything about financial literacy. I'm not saying it's going to get better anytime soon, but it will change. So where are they going to see? So anyway, let's go through and I'm gonna pause.
No, man. Ooh, don't say that. Don't say.
These are the people that said that they wanted to choose the bear. So I'm confused as to what the problem is. This is what y'all want to get it together. Like the lady said, they want to be men, but they really don't at the end of the day. Anyway.
Yeah, we don't do that. We love our men.
It's like enraged new wave feminist is like the new hot thing. Now, what?
Enraged feminism is the new hot thing. Now, I didn't know that there was all these waves, so I'm going to have to go look into it because I didn't know anything like sections of it, right? But I think she's right with what she's saying, this lady right here.
Why is that happening? Well, it's happening because women are miserable.
Women are miserable. We already know that. They spend too much time up on this talk, complaining and whining and blaming. And how many crime y'all, I could bring you crying videos all day. Is that what y'all want? I can bring you crying videos. We could do live streams on them crying in the car. Is that what a car was made for? So that they could get in there and cry and whine and complain and blame and then go back to whatever the hell it is that they was doing. Because this is what y'all wanted. This is what these people wanted. I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. That's what they wanted. And chastising the rest of us that are like, sis, y'all going with that mess. You're just black male identified. And I'll be like, child, I'm all male identified. They don't want to believe me when I say that one of the reasons that Trump was elected is because he's not LTM. One of the main reasons is because progressives are crazy. Okay, liberals and progressives are wild and out. But I feel like one of the very 1.2, 1.5 reasons is because he comes across as a masculine man. So y'all can get all upset and riled up. He's a 14-time felon or however many the counts are, and he's racist. You can go ahead and say all that all you want to. The point is that he's masculine. He don't take no shit. It is what it is. He lays down the law, and that's gonna make a difference. Now, I don't know how JD is going to do if he runs for president, but if these people over here keep wilding out with the pink hair, the orange hair, and all this other foolishness, then, hold on, and all this other foolishness, and put up cam, they're going to lose for sure. For sure.
They're unhappy, and rather than looking inward and saying, why am I unhappy?
Yeah, instead of doing some self-correction and self-reflection, just blame. So again, until self-reflection happens, they just talking. And as far as I'm concerned, it's just another scam and a scheme.
They are blaming outward. So this is men's fault. This is injustice, patriarchy. This is all the words, right? Misogyny, you did me dirty. It's all that. Instead of saying, am I unhappy because I put a ton of pressure on myself to live this boss babe life?
Am I unhappy because I was telling everybody else how they're wrong and I never talk about my faults and what I do wrong and the decisions that I make for my own life and the things that I decided to do because I knew what I was doing? Allegedly, and now I realize it wasn't the best thing. Now, how do these people who got those degrees in, as Kevin Samuels used to call it, basket weaving, pottery making, where are those people at? Where are those people at? And when are they going to acknowledge that you effed up? And now you got $65,000 in student loan debt. And now you thought that Joe Biden was going to come waive it for you. No, you make a mistake, you course correct, you learn from it, you move forward. That's not what they want to do. They want someone to come in and save, which is usually yeah. All right, is yeah. That's why you keep hearing these stupid conversations about you go to the grocery store and the man didn't offer to pay your groceries. Where did that even come from? How is that even a thing? I went to get gas and nobody paid for my gas. What world are you? Bring asylums back, y'all. Bring insane asylums back. Is that what y'all are doing, sassies? Is that what y'all are doing? You see a good looking woman. You see Amber Rose. It's not really Amber Rose. Somebody look like Amber Rose. Then y'all gonna go out there when you see her at the Sunoco owned by the Asians, and then y'all gonna go and pay for her gas, and then she drives off. Child, these people are crazy. Thank you, Charles James, for the jewels. Appreciate you.
Am I unhappy because now I have to like pay my own bills and work like a dog and keep up with a man in a man's world, as you so claim, and do all of these things that I don't really want to do, right? And just completely reject my femininity because I need like a full-on testosterone burst in order to survive in this corporate warfare.
The part that she just now said about the femininity, right? That's a bad word too. Like all these words are bad words. So if you come across as a feminine person and you don't hate men and you don't want to be like a man and you don't want to be above a man, you're a problem as a woman, according to these people. So then with the people that are saying, well, Dana with her fake black men are big upping, what's her name? Daphne Joy. I don't know why I want to call her Daphne Rose. Daphne Joy, who explained it? CGA explained it. It's like people will deal with her. I'll call it quote unquote deal with her because she's a feminine woman. She looks like a woman. She's looks good. She's got she's not big. What is it? Fit, feminine. She's fit, feminine, and friendly. If you say those things, then these people get all riled up, much like when we were watching the show from the other day where Maggie was on there and you have traditional women on one side, feminist women on the other side. We saw a big difference between the two. The traditional women were all dressed nicely and quiet in dresses. And even if they didn't have them on, they were all like just looking normal, like they were going to work. You look on the other side, child, I don't even know how many things we saw. Somebody looked like they just rolled out of bed, the orange, the pink, the crazy looking hair. They look like they didn't take a bath before they came. They look a mess. And these are the people that they think that somebody's supposed to listen to. But these are the people who are saying the most and running off at the mouth and talking negatively about anybody that believes in traditional. No one is saying to go back to Little House on the Prairie days, but child, to be married or to want to be in a relationship, there's nothing wrong with that. But you say that to these people who still are effing men. They said that too. They said they still want to F, and then they have their option to get ABs. But these are the people that care about life. These are the people that care about other people. Child, none of it makes sense. Insane asylums, child. Insane asylums.
I know I'm not alone in this. I think I'm just the one willing to say it. But as a 35-year-old woman,
35 years old,
I'm like pretty much over my strong, independent, boss ass, badass bitch.
So they just think this is just a phase, y'all. So what's 35 according to the over the wall, hit the wall scale. So she's 35 now and she was like, oh, I'm over it. Forget it all. It doesn't matter. Who can believe this? Who can believe this? And how do you get to just say, okay, I'm done. Now I want you to come get me. Now I want you to come take me on. I want you to come take care of me. Ma'am, what do you bring to the table, of which I hate? What do you bring to the table? You just want to reap the benefits of someone else. This is the same damn story. So it doesn't matter who the woman is, what race the woman is. They're all the same. Trust me, I go see these videos too. I just talk about black people because I'm black. But y'all bring these people in here too. They doing the same damn thing. The danger zone. Oh, I missed that. I haven't heard that one in a while. So now she in the danger zone. Now that she done talk negatively, allegedly bossed up and disparaged and pillaged and did all this. Now all of a sudden it's like, you know what? Come get me now. Come get me now. Take care of me and give me your credit card and I'll just eat bonbons. That's her reward for being a see you next Tuesday all this time.
Era. Like, I would love for someone to just sweep me off my feet and say, quit your job. Here's my credit card. Here's the keys to a brand new car.
Look at how it's about money and stuff and things. It's not even about, I want to care for a man now. I want to be married. I want to have his children. I want to be able to homeschool our children, care for them, cook for you. That's crazy talk. They're not going to say that. She's not saying none of that. She's not saying what she offers. She offers an expense. So any of y'all ready to jump on any of that at 35? Now, I don't know if she got any kids. Maybe you'll get a kid or two if you want a kid or two. But imagine if you took this woman on and this is me in my mind, allegedly. Imagine if you took this woman on and then you give her one kid or she gives you one kid. And then she says, you know what? I'm just going to go back into my boss babe phase now that I got all this. And now I'm going to need you to give me child support and take care of me for the rest of my life. And I'll see you when I see you. Because she's talking about it like it was a class that she took. Oh, child, I got an A out of that class and now it's over, child. I'm ready to move on to this class. Because there's never any what they do, what they offer, and what they bring to y'all's lives to make your lives better or easier. She didn't even say a back rub. She didn't even say a foot rub. God knows they're not going to do that. Anyway.
I'm just taking care of everything. Like, I need dependence on another human at this point in my life. Like, I'm really proud of myself. Like, pat on the back. You did it. You did it for a long time, girl. But like, I'm tired.
Sex.
If you choose one way.
That's really what it is. They're tired. I think that's what they said last night. They're just tired of doing it. The economy is tough now. Things are tougher now. Why should we have to continue to suffer now? I want somebody to lean on. Well, child, what happened to that about at minimum 10 years ago? Why wouldn't you think about that 10 years ago? And I promise you, she went to college, which I don't understand. Like when you're in college and these people are now saying there's no one on my level. When you're in college, that's your plethora of all different people from all different walks of life that you can possibly choose from. You in class with people that are doing the same things that you are, allegedly, as far as your career is concerned, or your degree is concerned, I should say. And you couldn't get with no one there? Please.
I'm really proud of myself. Like, pat on the back. You did it. You did it for a long time, girl. But like,
price of one sometimes not well-worded text. You up? And so women are frustrated because they want men to give more and be more committed. But the price of sex has dropped so low. And they're enjoying sex.
Shout out to my hat.
When I hear women say, but what about my needs? I'm always like, your sexual needs are very different from a guy's. And if you adopting a male model of anything is not female freedom. So I always tell women, let's say there's a bumper crop of tomatoes one year and the tomatoes dropped to 2 cents a head. I promise you, there is still a market for an organic, artisan grown heirloom tomato that's $2 a head. Which tomato are you?
Eddie Long is this? She went from a P-star to a pastor?
Y'all know this mess. This mess right here. Shout out to Prince in the building. Thank you, boo. He said, I'm tired, but the rent is still due. Exactly. These people just want to think that, oh, I'm tired, I'm just not going to go. Then get back on the talk, doing beg talk, looking for people to give money in order to pay the rent. Child. So this woman who I've never heard of before, and I still don't know who she is, but they said she's an adult film actress, Jasmine Cashmere. Now, can people change? Please, no one come in the comments saying that shit. Of course they can. But lest we not act like we don't know that enough church is not real. Let me say it like that. It's fake. It's a grift. It's to get money. It's to take advantage of the weak, the weak-minded, and people who need something and don't know what the hell they need. So they go to the church thinking that this is a good stop. And then they say, give me everything, even though you don't have anything. Because I want to know, raise your hand. I want to know which of these churches, and not all, because I love Wooden. Shout out to Bishop Wooden and my pastor, who I think are two very rare pastors that tell the truth, because I was well involved with a different church when my kids were younger, and they were full of sugar, honey, iced tea. They were full of sugar, honey, iced tea, and I didn't know it and realize it until a few years in. I had my kids put in their school, all that type of stuff, or one kid anyway at the time. And then I had to back away from those people. Those people were following people who were quote unquote dating to make sure that they didn't spend the night at each other's house. Child, they was crazy. They divorced now, but I was in it. I was in it, all hook, line, and sinker. And I was like talking to my husband, talking about, when are you going to come? He said, I'm not coming over there with them crazy people. I was like, that's not nice. You shouldn't do that. He's like, whatever, I'm not going. You have at it. You do your thing, but I'm not doing it. And he wouldn't allow anything crazy. He allowed the kids to go to the school because I said, oh, let's let them go to the school to be good. It'll be a biblical, background, blah, 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 blah. He's like, all right, fine, whatever. Plus, I made decisions on school anyway. But then I started watching them and then started listening to them when they started talking about what you couldn't and couldn't do when they started telling people what to do. And I said, oh, hold on, wait a minute, because I'm not interested in some outside influence telling me what to do. I don't play those games. So yeah, then that was the end of that. Then they started having their outward stuff, but I digress. Yeah, these people are crazy. So to go from who's going to this church with the adult film actress turned preacher pastor? Who's going to this church? Former adult actresses, adult film actresses, whatever it's called, prawn stars. Who's going to this? This thing in the background, you know, I'll be looking at backgrounds. This looks like she may have took over from Lamar Bishop, I think his name was. Remember Lamar Bishop from New York? And now he's in jail again because he came out of jail and still was trying to scam people, scam that woman out of her money. Now he's back in jail. And when he come out, what y'all think he gonna do? When Lamar Bishop, I think his name is, comes out of jail, what do y'all think he gonna do? The same damn thing. And guess what? They still gonna follow him. He's still gonna come out as a religious person. What else can he do? What's he gonna do with 2 felonies? He gonna go work where? What bank is gonna hire? What Fortune 500 company is gonna hire him? He's got no other choice, in my opinion, allegedly, unless he starts his own business, even though I guess doing a church is kind of your own business. Anyway, Slim Daddy, appreciate you. He said they're mad because men are being just as lazy as them. As the women? Okay. I didn't know. Are y'all lazy? Lazy asses. I was hearing about her being a pastor years ago. This isn't new news. I don't even know who she is, but so she got a whole following still. She on a come up from this?
From OnlyFans to Holy Bread? Is this another one of y'all's sexual liberation scams? That baptism water can't wash away those bodies, ma'am. Hello.
That's not true because now if you go over to Asia, you can have the body count reduced. So if you add that in with this, then I guess anything is possible, right?
Ma'am, I'm all for people changing their lives for the good, but this is just insane. What kind of this church is this?
That I don't do, and that is hang out with women who complain about men, and especially low frequency men. If you are in a dynamic where you don't get treated right, we cannot hang with each other because my focus has to go to up-leveling my life, my beauty, making money, traveling, expanding, evolving, and hanging around men that treat you like shit and then talking about that or complaining about that. That is very, very low frequency, and that is just not a thing that
I remember Amber Rose slut woke in LA. Well, this is what she had to say years later.
Now, this is what I remember about Amber Rose. Her most famous thing that she's ever done is date Kanye, as far as I'm concerned. Then she came up, I guess, after they broke up and said, oh, let's have a slut walk. And, you know, all the stars was up there with her, all behind it. Let's go. Celebrate being a whore. Let's celebrate being hoes. But we have that show with Light Bright on it. What is it called? Listen to Black Women. Where all they ever say is, you got to go through a whole phase. Why? You got to go through a whole phase. You need to go through a whole phase. What do they basically say on tonight's conversation? Even though they're not necessarily saying it, when Ace told that little girl that was 23, not necessarily a little girl, she said she wanted to be married. They, oh no, you need to go live your life. You shouldn't even be worried about marriage. That's what they told her. That was their advice. They're really helping out the community. No one has any outrage about that. I'm lying. Obsidian always had outrage with regard to Ace Metaphor. And I didn't realize why until I started watching it and listening. And it's like, it's a problem. They are a problem. But that's where women want to go. You know why? Because they'll find a way to make them feel good and make them feel that your choices were fine. It was the man that was the problem. It was the other person that was the issue. And you don't have to look into anything. And you don't have to change anything. And you don't have to worry about how it is that you come across. And you don't have to worry about how it is that you act. You don't have to worry about anything. You're perfect. Shout out to Alanis Morissette. So that's why I say, until you hear them come out here and say what they're going to do or where they had fault and what they're going to do to change it, it's a scam. Is bullshit. Like they said last night, what I agree. You can find the Lord, you can be religious and everything, but that don't change who you are unless you change who you are. So if you can say that you're religious now, like the lady from tonight that wanted to say that even though she had a kid, all these men still expect her to put out. I'm trying to be YouTube friendly. They expect her to put out, but her values have changed. Well, that's fine, girl. That's fine. But you can't change their mind. You got to change your mind and understand that that game is probably, or that requirement that you have is probably not going to work with most. So keep on searching until you find the one. You're right. You don't have to have relations with anyone that you don't want to, but know and understand that we see you. We see you. You had a kid and you were not married. Now you want to be chaste. Is that what it's called? That's what you want to be. That's what you want to be. But don't get mad at them for their standards just because your standards change. Because sassies, you are supposed to change with what they say. If their standards change, you're just supposed to change and say, okay. I'm telling you, that's what these people think. That's how it's supposed to work. If today they say this, you're supposed to say, okay. If 3 weeks from now they say something different, you're supposed to go, okay. And they're not hearing that. They're not learning that. So yet again, until they start talking about what they are going to do and what they did wrong, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Shout out to Coonley, long time no see. Thank you, boo. He said just a hello. Always a hello. Shout out to you, boo. Hope all is well. I appreciate you. Shout out to all of y'all. Please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Prince with another 5. He said, I can't be a pastor or a politician. Surrounded by people who believe in delusion and deny reality is a nightmare. Exactly. Besides, I could never be either because I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And then they're going to be like, oh, this bitch, they messed it up and then lose donor money. So it's just a waste of time. But child, if I could, I would be a politician in a heartbeat. I'd be like, yo, that's dumb. Who came up with this shit? Yeah, no, they not gonna like me doing that. Thank you, S. Allison. I appreciate you for the jewels. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate you. Come on.
Do you think sometimes women actually try to get pregnant from men?
Yes.
That's a real thing?
Yes.
Shannon, you really asked this question, child.
Yes.
You've had girlfriends say, I'm trying to.
I've had girlfriends lie about abortions to get money, to act like they're pregnant.
You hear her talking about she has friends who. Let me say, I don't have friends that do none of this. I've never had friends that do none of this. Now, most of y'all know I don't hang out with bitches because I know how they are. I know how women are. She over here, I have women who. I know women who. I promise you, I don't know women nothing like this. Nothing.
Yes, it's disgusting. This is why I stopped my slut walk, by the way.
Yeah.
This is why I'm no longer a feminist. Because I saw the dark side of what women can do. And I'm sitting here feeling slighted by men.
Right.
She a whole ass woman. You just saw how women are and what they do. Girl, please.
And then I'm fighting for equality.
Right.
And I'm like, the only equality is that you ain't either. You bitches are crazy. Y'all are really.
You're crazy, girl.
You guys are extorting men, lying about pregnancies.
No, extorting and lying about pregnancies. What did you do, Amber? I mean, she's right about what she's saying, but I want to know what she did since she's so changed. Well, what did you do? What did you do?
You guys are extorting men, lying about pregnancies, saying you're on birth control when you're not, to trap them. I mean, not to sound vulgar, but...
I mean, gentlemen, if you're allowing that shit to fly, you deserve that. Because, child, please stop this. If y'all falling for this okie doke at this point in 2026, then y'all deserve what you get. That's why I say that basketball player with that crazy prawn star that he got to deal with, and some other, but child, I can't keep up with these people. But they dealing with all these crazy biatches that just look like thoughts to begin with, that sit on the sidelines of basketball games and they fall for it and they end up getting them pregnant and then they take them for all they got. You deserve it. Deion Sanders was trying to use Brittany Renner at that time to tell them the game, and she did at that football camp that he was at or whatever, wherever he used to coach at before he went to Colorado. And they wasn't trying to listen. She got a fat ass. Well, if that's what works, then that's what works. That's why these people will keep doing this stuff.
If a man comes inside of you and you say that you're on birth control, he trusts you.
Right.
Stuff that you would trap him like that.
No, he's trying to fuck.
How a well-known hoe in the industry changed her mindset. She's no longer a feminist and she stopped the slut walk.
She said it. That doesn't mean she changed anything. Child, he's sitting up here and believing this. I don't believe it for a second. I don't believe it for a second. Because again, she talking about what everybody else did. Child, what did you do? What are you going to change moving forward?
Well.
Anyway, So yeah, that was one of the segments from last night, but I have another one because I only have a little more time. It is 7:30. Lord, time flies when you're having fun. Again, shout out to all of y'all that are here. Please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. This is the show from last night. Shout out again to Ask a Brother Podcast for having me on. I'm going to show another set of these clips that he had and then speak to it.
Real quick, Crimson, you had said earlier about these people lying. I wanted us to watch a ridiculous example, but also let's pay attention to the woman's reaction and response to what we're about to watch, and let's see what y'all think.
Some fucking friends that are prudes that are like, you should never kiss on the first date. You're going to give them the wrong impression, and they're just going to think you're a whore. Okay.
Child, when this was playing last night, I was about to lose my damn mind. First of all, who in the hell is going to listen to a woman talking like this? All I remember is that lady that came out with the white women who was, remember the white lady who was, did the phone call to make all the money for Cam for her presidency. And she's talking like a child, like you're talking to people like they're 2 years old. Child, I'm gonna walk right out of your face. I don't know who you think you're talking to. But this is the hoe, well, former hoe, I guess, from I Was Daddy. I think I Love Daddy, something like that. Daddy something.
Hey, maybe for you, Cassandra, but I'm about to let him in my back door all night. You don't have to do it all night too, but you could. Whatever feels right.
Okay, ladies, please do yourself a favor and do not listen to this absolute garbage of advice. I do not care what this woman, Alex Cooper, says. Sleeping around, letting a man sodomize you, and letting random men touch you in the most intimate parts of your body is not liberating or beneficial.
Ew, get off of me. Ugh, that's F.
In fact, the only woman that's benefiting from this is the host of this show, Alex Cooper. She is profiting off of women who are insecure, women who grew up without a father figure, women who are desperate to be loved, women.
I feel like the lady in blue is making excuses for those women, though. I mean, follow who you want, spend your money where you want. When it comes out to be a farce, I know I don't care.
Who are looking for validation and women who do not yet understand their value and their worth. Ladies, there are consequences to living a life like this. STDs, heartbreak, pregnancy. And if you don't want to keep that baby, add abortion trauma to that list. Ladies, feelings are temporary. They are fleeting, but consequences are not. Please, I beg of you, stop listening to voices like this that are trying to convince you that you are worthless, because you're not. In fact, you were bought at a price by a savior who believed you were worth dying for. So why would you settle for anything less?
And we're going to respond to the second part with which she adding the religion part into, so we can go back to the P star Jasmine
because that's her grifting angle.
Cashmere, who now became a pastor. We're gonna talk about that and to make
a lot of my students who are doing a lot of work around this area, it's not necessarily kind of really extreme content they're seeing, but it's often these kind of more subtle ideas about kind of you know, like things like most men are trash, most men are of no value to you, only a minority of men are high value. And it's this kind of online trend which is encouraging women to go sober, to detox themselves from heterosexual relationships as a sort of way to self-care, look after oneself, like exit the sort of the hellish hellscape of dating for a period of time or permanently. So it often then gets into this, again, this is the kind of mirroring of the manosphere logic. You know, in the manosphere, they talk a lot about high value women, low value women, and so on. Very dehumanizing language. And this is another interesting thing, that there's an increasing sense that any men who kind of tries to engage with feminism or tries to be an ally is a performative male, and therefore is not really to be trusted. Okay. And so there's like this broader sort of like suspicion of any man who is trying to be left-wing or progressive or feminist, because there's a sense that, well, because men by nature have this sort of evolutionarily determined desire to, you know, impregnate as many women as they can, this is all just part of their strategy and they're therefore not to be trusted. And so therefore it makes it very difficult to have any sense of kind of solidarity in terms of feminism.
All right, so a couple things.
Oh my God, shout out to I missed the comment. Jerika, Call Me Daddy. Call Me Daddy is what this girl, this is the name of her show. This is the show. Isn't this the show that Cam went on, y'all, when she was going through her, trying to become elected? Didn't she go on the show? I feel like she did. But I don't think, I'm not going to call her a grifter. I know what you're saying, Wombat, right? I'm not going to call her a grifter. I'm going to call her a smart entrepreneur. Thank you for confirming, y'all. I'm going to call her a smart entrepreneur because she saw that there was a need for these biatches and she provided it to them. She fed into their foolishness. She fed into what they believe because whatever the reason is. And she made money from it. Shout out to her. And then went home to her husband. And yes, she is married. They confirmed that last night. And having a baby if she didn't have the baby already. But those things can be right in front of these women's faces. This is why I said it's not a grift, because Beyonce, of which they're going to talk about, which I'm not going to go over it, but they start talking about Beyonce. Beyonce was clearly married. Beyonce was clearly dating Jay-Z. Maybe not when she was in Destiny's Child initially, but Cardi B was clearly married. Even though she's still married as far as I'm concerned. How much of a feminist can you really be when you keep getting pregnant? And then you keep getting, by her husband at the time, and now she with the next man real quick. So she got pregnant by him and had a baby. I mean, the stuff is right in front of your face. That's why I have no sympathy, and they can act like they don't know. Well, then that means that you have no common sense. You have no common sense. While they sit there and dance to Beyonce and sing all the songs, and why are you taking Beyonce as your I don't even know what the word is taking advice from Beyonce. But then again, these are the people that take advice from Ace Metaphor. You take advice from everybody in the free world except for the person you should be taking advice from. Probably a counselor, a doctor, or a psychiatrist, because enough women need help. I'm telling you, enough women need some mental health help. You will buy into this. It's a woman's world. Wait, Beyonce got a song like that too, child. Because trust me, I know Beyonce's music until the country stuff. No shade on country music. Who rule the world? Girl who rule the world. That's what it is. Girls who rule. And I done been to all the concerts. I done been to the concerts with Jay-Z. I done sung all the songs and everything. That does not influence me to change anything about my life, because that's entertainment. That's music. That's all that is. So if these people can be influenced by Cardi B, Meg, Beyonce, Destiny's Child, and who Funky Red, whatever her name is, you know who I'm talking about. That's not a grift for Alex here to take advantage of it. She said, child, let me get some money up here. And she did it, and it worked. These people are responsible for their decisions, just like the ones right now who didn't spend $2,500 to spend 20 minutes with Chris Brown. $2,500. There are too many holes in the story of they're pulling away from feminism. There's just too many things that are showing that's not the case. I'm telling you, these people just want to do what they want to do when they want to do it, and then they want you, Sassy Straights, to pick up the damn bill. That's what it comes down to. That's what it always comes down to. That sounds pretty. Now you all taking care of them is the tradition that they want. Now figure out what other traditions that you're gonna get, since y'all are giving the biggest tradition, which is giving up your money and taking care of. What you gonna get from them traditions is the question. They not talking about none of that. That heifer that was 35, just give me your credit card. Sounding a little selfish to me. Shout out to Legend. Thank you, boo. I appreciate you. Dallas, thank you for the gold coins. I appreciate you, hun. Legend said Cam was on that show. Okay, they turned a hotel room into a set that cost millions. Wasted money. That's right. She had all that money and she changed it up instead of her going to the woman's show. She's like, I'm not going there to your show. So that's what Cam thinks of women. But I guess women don't see that. They think you good enough to go on a show that this woman talks like she's a damn child, talks about you being free, being a woman, being feminist, and you don't need a man. Oh, until y'all need a man. And then y'all send Obama out there to say, listen, gentlemen, you need to go vote for Cam because I said so. Because y'all not acting with her the way you acted with me, and y'all need to get your shit together. Did he not do that? He did it for Cam. He also, we just went over it the other day, sitting up here saying that you need married people in a relationship with a male child. If you have at least one male child, you need to bring in an ABCD male in order to talk to your son in case he's ABCD. Or he has some ABCD tendencies. or he has to discuss his ABCD-ism because he has questions. I mean, the father and the mother, y'all don't know what you're doing. You need to bring in an ABCD. And the fact that the community don't see that is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Just gloss on all over that. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. Thank you, Prince. He said, misery loves company, and they do. And they do. And then they about to shove Cam back in your face, along with AOC. I saw somebody say AOC earlier. No, she's not in any of these compilations, but she's about to hook up with Ma'am Danby and take the socialist route. So the next problem is, in my mind, is the socialist route with all these women, the younger generation, Generation Z, that think that someone should take care of them. So if you hear someone saying, I'm going to pay for your groceries, I'm going to pay for your rent, or you're never going to have rent increase again, which is what he allegedly just did in New York, is like there's no rent increases. So in my mind, thinking on a financial basis, they're about to lose a bunch of landlords, which he probably wants anyway, because if they leave and no one buys the property, then the state or the city gets to take it over. Something like that happens. So then they'll be in control of those homes, those places, those buildings, which means that they are in complete control of you. And the funny part would be, not ha funny, but ha people are not thinking, is that once they get these places and then you are in there and you think, oh, no rent increase. And then they end up turning around saying, yeah, well, we need to get some money, so we increasing the rent, so y'all got to pay. Then it's going to be all this outrage. And if that does happen, I pray to the Lord that I'm here to see it. But this is what I'm imagining in my brain, because they did say that if you can't sell the place, the state or the city gets to take it over, which means it goes in the hands of Ma'am Danby. And then he can say, oh, look at this. I get all these places, not him personally, but we got all these places because NYCHA has worked out so well. Because NYCHA has worked out so well. And then he'll take those over too. And then I'm sure you all will live happily ever after. He ain't take care of them rats, roaches, and mice yet, though. The dilapidated buildings, the buildings with no safety, child. Let me get off of that. I could go on for days with that. But that's it. Okay. So it's not just me looking at that. Like, if you're not, I can't pay attention to everything, but I know I saw that everything reverts back to the city. And so that means that they're going to be in charge of it. And then it'll turn into NYCHA. And NYCHA has worked out so well. They like it. I love it. They like it. I love it. Prince, I appreciate you. He said, I'm independent. Reminds me of pull-up commercials. I'm a big kid. Oh, yeah, remember that. I'm a big kid now until bills come into play. Yeah, everybody a kid. Everybody is a kid. I agree. Till them bills come due. Bills. Can you pay my bills?
Like, you should never kiss on the first date. You're going to give them the wrong impression and they're just going to think you're a whore. Okay, maybe for you, Cassandra, but I'm about to let him in my back door all night. You don't have to do it all night too, but you could. Whatever feels right.
Okay, ladies, please do yourself a favor and do not listen to this absolute garbage.
Yeah, go ahead and do whatever feels right. You have to listen to her to anyway.
Of advice. I do not care what this woman, Alex Cooper, says. Sleeping around, letting a man sodomize you, and letting random men touch you in the most intimate parts of your body is not liberating or beneficial.
Ew, get off of me.
Y'all, poor Maggie down here in the left-hand corner. Shout out to Maggie, the substitute teacher. She be trying to tell you heifers. I don't. I say what it is because I know what it is 95% of the time. That's why I take my accolades when it finally comes to pass. But she out here trying to help y'all one woman at a time.
In fact, the only woman that's benefiting from this is the host of the show, Alex Cooper. She is profiting off of women who are insecure, women who grew up without a father figure, women who are desperate to be loved, women who are looking for validation, and women who do not yet understand their value and their worth. Ladies, there are consequences to living a life like this. STDs, heartbreak, pregnancy, and if you don't want to keep that baby, add abortion trauma to that list. Ladies, feelings are temporary. They are fleeting, but consequences are not. Please, I beg of you, stop listening to voices like this.
Consequences? What's that? Consequences? Child, who know what that is? These people don't think about consequences. That's when they turn around and start saying, I blame you, and you. When those checks come due, when it's time, when things get tough and tight, now it's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. That's why we keep seeing those videos. And now it's Generation X's fault. Not saying that they haven't been saying it, but it's a lot more of which we will get back to. It's now my parents' fault. How is your parents' fault when you've been out on your own for 5 years? How?
That are trying to convince you that you are worthless because you're not. In fact, you were bought at a price by a savior who believed you were worth dying for. So why would you settle for anything less?
And we're going to respond to the second part.
I was going to say again, this is her not going to call it a grift. This is what she wants, is to bring it back to religion, which is fine. Shout out to her. But everybody out here, let me rephrase. There's a lot of people that are really capitalizing while these women complain about a capitalist society.
Where she adding the religion part into it, so we can go back to the Peace Star, Jasmine Cashmere, who now became a pastor. We're going to talk about that and to make
a lot of my students who are doing a lot of work around this area. It's not necessarily kind of...
All right, I really don't know what this woman is talking about, so let me get past her. I ain't know about it the first, second, or third time, so I'm going to get right past her. Sorry, y'all.
Feminist, because there's this sense, impregnated sense of kind of solidarity in terms of feminism.
You all think. The first of which is Alex Cooper is a part of...
Anyway, so yeah, that actually is enough. So these people, these women who, Jeff is kind enough to try to think that they're changing. Like I said last night, I think this is what we're going to do right now because things are getting harder, things are getting tougher. The milk is high, the eggs are high, the gas is high, Trump is a racist, ICE sucks. All of these people that are complaining about, it's usually women, it's mostly women, complaining about all these people that are doing everything wrong. They just jump right in to say, yeah, somebody did me wrong, this did me wrong, this didn't go the way that I wanted it to, and never take accountability for them. So then they get to blame everyone else. It's the government, it's the Republicans, it's Trump, it's Abba, Dabba, Do, it's Anton's fault, it's you Sassy Straits' fault. Until, in my opinion, until you hear these people accepting and taking accountability for their role, these are whole ass adults. These are whole ass adults. Just like with the little boy that just went to the airport and his parents didn't know. That's not his fault. That's y'all's fault for not watching your kid. Clearly, he's very intelligent. I don't expect an apology from him, but what are they doing? They're blaming Uber, who is at fault, but they're taking no responsibility for their role with their minor freaking child. We see it over and over and over again. So until that starts to happen and Amber Rose starts to come out and say, well, this is what I did. She didn't even say, well, I apologize for anyone that I influenced with the slut walk. I was wrong. I shouldn't have said, and I'll do what I need to do in order to correct that. Ladies, please don't do this. I was wrong. I don't think we heard any of that. I don't think you're going to hear any of that because she ain't worrying about that. She got what she needed. She where she needs to be. She took advantage of the limelight that she had from being with Kanye. She's not a bad looking woman before she started writing all over herself, but I digress on that. These women that are saying OC1F3R, thank you for the red card. I appreciate you. They can say I found the Lord, and that's fine. Praise the Lord. We don't have no problem with that. Truth is, I'm tired though. Because y'all always come up with a way to do something all the way around the block instead of just coming straight and direct and saying, I was wrong. If y'all see them start saying that I was wrong, and then let me take a step back. When somebody apologizes, Gemini, thank you so much for the silver star. When someone apologizes or says that they're wrong, then they should be able to say why they were wrong. They should be able to say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have hung up on you. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have cursed you out. I was upset. Thank you, Trey, for the gold coin. I appreciate you. They should be able to say, when I was disparaging you, I should not have done that. I was talking negatively about men in this space because I was feeling after this happened and, my emotions got the best of me. Thank you, King Horror, for the flow state. You don't hear none of that. When you start hearing that, then maybe something is changing. Until you hear any apologies or where somebody says that they did something wrong, And then you watch their behavior thereafter, of course. But child, these people don't even start with a damn apology. It's just because, oh, I'm religious. Thank you, RBN, for the flower. It's just because I'm religious, because I believe in God now. You're just supposed to accept me and believe what I say, regardless of all these years. Specifically, let's talk about Amber Rose. Regardless of all these years, I remember when this heifer said, I'm teaching my son to be a feminist. I was like, what? So you're teaching him to be LTM, basically. He is too young for this. Thank you, Dallas, for the floating heart. He is too young for this. That baby was like 4 and she was saying that mess. So now he got to be 8, 9, 10. So you're going to deprogram him? Because honestly, I think that if these people are not going to teach their children not to be this way, even though he's a boy and everything, but hopefully she's not like sitting up there telling them that he ain't ish because he's a male, until they stop trying to transition their children at young ages, until they stop thinking that they need to have drag in school, until they stop blaming men for every single thing and stop saying shit like it's the patriarchy's fault, it's the misogyny, it's toxic masculinity. Until they stop saying all that, I don't believe it for a second. I don't believe it for a second. This is the grift, in my opinion. Oh shit is getting tough. Let's go to these men that got all this money. Now remember, all these women have all the money. All these women have all the money because they're so smart and they know what they're doing and they can help you with your business and just, we can get together because I can level him up. All that foolish talk. All that foolish talk. Not one, I apologize. No Anita Bakers and no sorries.
Okay, babe, I'm sorry. Simple. You know that I'm not, but I never meant to do that way, but you never think of my feelings and you do them. You do know that I love you, but at the same time you dislike me, what good thing is you? At the same time I get angry and multiple and you don't care, well, but I do forgive you, but at the same time you don't. Okay, baby, I'm sorry. You gotta think of my feelings, but yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm assuming you're talking about these jewels and things, RBN. I don't know. They've been here for a while. It's cute to have it come up on the super chat though. Shout out to y'all. Thank you so much. But yeah, until we see that, an acknowledgement of what they did wrong and what they're going to do to change it, it's all just talk as far as I'm concerned. But we shall see, because we will follow it. We've already been talking about the feminism stuff the other day with Maggie and Carmen JC when they was talking to the other side of those heifers that look like they just rolled out of bed. And those women, right? Those women, they were like under 35. I don't see them the way that they were talking changing anytime soon. I mean, it may be onesie twosies, but it need to be a lot more than onesie twosies in order for people, in my opinion, that people should start thinking that something is changing. What's going to change is what Trinidad has been saying for so long, right? They're going to be out here suffering. And he said, get the foldy chair and we all going to have a cookout and watch it. Because if anybody saves people, and I'm just talking about from this feminist bullshit, we've been talking shit to everybody. You don't agree with me. I can't stand you. You the problem. I hate you. F you. Do what I say. All that. That's all I'm talking about. That's all I'm talking about. If anybody decides that they're going to go, of which we know there's SIMPs who will do it, but if there's anybody that's going to go and actually save them and bring them in and take care of them and marry them, and then the economy will change. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, the economy will change. And then they say, you know what? I don't need no man, and they leave your ass. And then you stuck there and you got to pay, and now you can't see your kid and all that. I'm going to laugh. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to laugh. Because it sounds crazy. And y'all are supposed to have some sense. You're supposed to have more sense than us. Y'all supposed to know more. And it's just not that hard to see, especially with all these games. And I've only been on here for 4 years, going on 5 years on this tube. And if you can't see it when you've been going through this your whole life with these biatches, then you will never see it. And I gotta be honest, I'm gonna laugh. We be waiting. Prince, thank you, boo. He said, I don't even get mad anymore. They'll blame men for the choices they make while simultaneously blaming men for allowing them to make said choices. Exactly. It's like there's no winning. Not that anybody's trying to win, but there's no winning for losing. So F it. Do what you want. I'm a firm believer. Go ahead, do what you want. Do what you want. Because honestly, at the end of the day, you're going to, and you have free will to do what you want. Be ready for all those consequences at the end of the day. That's where I'll leave it though. Yeah, we already know RBN, we already know. But anyway, hour and a half. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate you for coming through. I will be back tonight, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. or 6:30. I got to see how much time I have when I come back. So look to come back. Hopefully we'll go over more of this. I got other things to look at. Maybe we'll do some Crime is Down. We shall see. I appreciate y'all. Thank you to everyone that donated, all the jewels, all the super chats. I appreciate you. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. If you're on a replay, make sure that you comment, share the daggone video. I see you all in the next one.